India has won the match by 4 wickets, and at one point it looked like India was in a tricky situation, losing early wickets. But then Virat Kohli stepped up, being the man that he is. He came in as here and scored the runs that were very necessary for India. And when we talk about it, India was chasing 274 runs, but who restricted New Zealand to 273 runs was Mohammad Shami with his 5 wicket haul. Me, Trisha, and Raja will be talking about how the whole match went through. And initial comments, Shami has been incredible with the way that he kind of pulled back the runs when it comes to New Zealand. New Zealand's attack, they were attacking Rachin Ravindra and Darren Mitchell both looked very dangerous at one point. But then Kuldeep Yadav comes in, Mohammad Shami comes in, and then in the second innings, Virat Kohli gives us another stellar performance.
Nothing new, chase master. I think the way Virat just plays his innings, as in builds his innings, if you look at it, he runs hard, and I think Raja was just mentioning that this man's fitness. He was sweating like anything, but still he was eager to run the tours. Sad that he was trying to go for a big haul and didn't reach the 49 centuries because that would have been big. But what is important is I love how his attitude is to stay there and finish the game. He only, even the last match, this match, he only chased his milestone when he completely knew we are there.
Yes, fabulous inning, fabulous effort. You can't take anything away from Rohit Sharma either for having given India a wonderful start. The first 10 overs were fabulous for India. Gill giving him playing the second fiddle. But ideally, one would have liked Rohit Sharma to kick on and do a Virat Kohli. But Rohit Sharma is Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli is Virat Kohli. Both of them contributed immensely to this victory. Can't take away anything from Mohammad Shami. Playing his first game in the World Cup this time, taking a 5-4, helping India restrict New Zealand to 273. I think that is the key. How well the Indian bowlers came back in the last 15 overs of New Zealand innings after Mitchell got that 100. I think it was very, very important that the bowlers get the recognition that they fully deserve, but Virat walks away with a lot of the limelight.
Absolutely, and Virat Kohli now is the highest run getter in the tournament in the World Cup with 354 runs. He has 1 century that he scored, of course, in the last match. Very famous. It was very well received. And now, but since we're looking at most runs in a tournament, in a World Cup, where you get the best of the players, the creme de la creme. But Virat is not a very aggressive player. Not when it comes to his batting. He's not a very big hitter. He plays in his V, he plays his textbook shots. Yet he is one of the most impactful batters out there in the world.
I think that has got to do with two things. One, he generally, obviously, he bats at number 4, so he's not going to come at. Sorry, bats at number 3. He's not going to come at in the power play, especially with the way Rohit and Gill has performed. He hasn't come in the power play, which actually gives him time to take his singles, place the ball, settle, bat balls. I mean, his cover drive today, the cover drive he played. My God, I thought he's just defending and it just whizzes off to the boundary. So I think he relies more on timing. He's that sort of a player who will who runs hard. He works hard for his run, but also you have to before we continue on Virat, what I've realized, sir, this team has got their roles set so well, and the clarity is there. Ashwin comes in, does his role in Chennai. He doesn't play, it's fine with him. Shami comes in, knows his role, does his job. Whether he plays in the next match or not, that doesn't matter. Every time somebody is asked to do a certain role, they know this is my specific role. That's why it makes it so easy. Yes. So I think for Virat knows his role is to be the anchor, to take it to the last ball, and then of course he has the capabilities of hitting big sixes also.
I think Trisha flowed. She played the Virat Kohli innings here. Nothing new we can add, but Virat being Virat, he put the team ahead of everything else. I'm very sure about that because he wasn't playing for a milestone. He did refuse a single in the end and then tried to hit the ball out of the park. Nobody can complain that Virat was playing for himself or for his milestones or for the 49 100 in ODIs to equal Sachin Tendulkar's record. That will come when it has to. But it was very critical for him to hold the innings together. Shubman Gill had gone, Captain Rohit Sharma had fallen, and then he could see KL Rahul fall, Shreyas Iyer fall, then KL Rahul fall. He had to hold the innings together. I think he played that to a nicety today. He's done it so often that you can never accuse Virat of not being there till then. Yes, today he gave his wicket away there, which was typical of Indians, Gargi, today. There were a lot of gifts that they were holding out. Ashtami today, so they were kind of giving away wicket. But all is well. India's got 5 on 5, 10 points on top of the table. It can't be a better Ashtami for India.
Absolutely. I think the way that they were giving away wickets today will be a good day to learn for the Indian batters, because they will realize a lot, although it did play out very well, but still there's going to be a lot to learn from this game. But if we're focusing on positives, I think another one or two people that we need to talk about, two players that we need to talk about, is of course Mohammad Shami and Kuldeep Yadav as well. Because Kuldeep Yadav, we discussed this in the pre-show as well, in the mid-show, sorry, that in the first 5 overs he gave away 48 runs, 0 wickets. In the second part of his innings, of his bowling quota, he gave away only 25 runs and got 2 wickets, whereas Shami also ended the first innings with 5 wickets. How incredible was that to watch?
I will add one more name to it. Where is Ravindra Jadeja? 48 in 10 overs, and then none for 48 in 10 overs. Absolutely, because I repeat again that if he had not controlled the scoring rate, it could have been far worse. And then a very important 39 not out, because when Jadeja came in, we still had quite a lot of runs to score. But because today we didn't have a Hardik Pandya, we didn't have a Shardul Thakur, which meant we had Mohammad Shami after that pair, which is that was the last recognized pair. And even when Jadeja played that last boundary, the whole body language, he's so calm and he's so composed. So I think Jadeja is a very, 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 very important player, important cog in the wheel. And yes, Kuldeep and Shami. Shami, what is your perspective?
Kuldeep Yadav, to me, the highlight was his coming back story. Gargi, anybody who goes for plenty in the first 5 overs will be in trouble. Emotionally, would be wondering what the team is thinking of him, would be wondering how he's going to come back. He was mentally tough, and I think that's a highlight for him to come back in those final 5 overs of his, pick up those 2 wickets in the end, and go back with his head held high. I think that is a big gain for India today. If there's anything that India would be looking for, would be to get back to the levels of fielding and catching that we have known India to have in this World Cup. No wonder the fans are celebrating, no wonder Dharamshala, as they're spilling out of the stadium, people are celebrating a lot. And this is a scene that we hope we will get to see again and again, not only in Lucknow, but elsewhere as well, where India goes to play.
Absolutely. There's still a lot to talk about, but we're being joined by Shubayan from the stadium, and let's listen to what he has to say.
Rev Sports here in Dharamshala, and India have registered yet another win and have made it 5 out of 5 by defeating New Zealand by 4 wickets. Of course, the winning run scored by Ravindra Jadeja, but everyone was hoping for that Virat Kohli century. He got out at 95, missed out on equalizing Sachin Tendulkar's all-time record of 49 ODI centuries. But yes, it's firework time in Himachal Pradesh, as India have defeated New Zealand by 4 wickets, and a comprehensive batting show. Again, a blistering start by Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, and after that Virat Kohli took charge in the middle. Of course, there was a laser show in between, after which KL Rahul and Surya Kumar Yadav got out. KL Rahul, of course, was looking extremely good and has been the case in this entire World Cup. But Surya Kumar Yadav a tad bit unfortunate there, sacrificing his wicket for Virat Kohli, and for no fault of his. It was Surya Kumar Yadav's call, but Virat Kohli did not want to take that single and sent him back, and Surya sacrificed his wicket. And of course, after that, Mitchell Santner and Trent Bolt combined to run him out for a cheap score. Of course, after that, Virat Kohli looked in amazing touch once again, but was unfortunate to miss out on his 49th ODI century. Got out for 95, and the atmosphere inside the stadium, everyone was hoping, everyone was at the edge of their seats waiting for that Virat Kohli century. But a comprehensive win for India overall. They played a few dot balls. Ravindra Jadeja was also defending the ball, not taking any singles, to ensure that Virat Kohli reaches that triple digit mark. But that was not the case today. Maybe for some other day and other venue in this World Cup. But ominous sign for the Indian team. The bowling show, Mohammad Shami led the charge. His 5 wicket haul. He now has the best strike rate in ODI World Cup history. Looks extremely good. I have been saying it repeatedly in my review chats after the net sessions, that Mohammad Shami has been the best bowler in the India nets, and that showed today in the performance. 5 wickets, looked extremely good, didn't he? The last spell which he bowled, which allowed New Zealand to be restricted below that 300-digit mark. Anything above that, India would have struggled to get that down. A commendable fielding and bowling performance by New Zealand again. They were diving around, stopping those runs, taking those good catches. Contrasting scenario from the Indian team today, who were extremely sloppy on the field. But yes, the highlight has to be Virat Kohli's 95 and Mohammad Shami's 5 wicket haul in this World Cup game. So 5 out of 5 for New Zealand. Firework times in Himachal Pradesh, and now the action moves to Lucknow for the Indian team. They have got a bit of a 1 week break, so the Indian players will be given an optional break where they can go and join their families during this festive season. So maybe a few players will go back to their respective homes and then rejoin the Indian team for their big match against the defending champions. Defending champions England are struggling in this World Cup, so India head into that match as favourite as well. But for now, here in Dharamshala, of course, India 5 out of 5.
Well, going back to Virat Kohli, since we were having a wonderful chat about that, the way that he's been building his innings, that is what he's known for, right? Using those singles, doubles. But we're not the only ones who think Virat Kohli has been incredible throughout his career. Shoaib Malik, ex-Pakistani player, he's well renowned in the cricketing sphere. So let's listen to what Shoaib Malik has to say about Virat Kohli.
विराट, मैं एक ही छोटी सी बात बोलूंगा अबाउट विराट. विराट, ही इज लाइक अ 4 व्हील कार. आप उसे किसी भी सिचुएशन में डालो, किसी भी हर्डल से गुजारो, ही इज देयर एंड ही इज द मैन, एंड ही इज डन दैट so many times. I guess words are not enough to praise what he's done or he's doing. But I would love when he comes to bat, and I guess when he comes to bat, it's such a treat to watch how he plays and takes the game down regardless of the situation. So I guess it's blessings that we have a player like Virat Kohli who we could see and talk about him.
Virat bats in any situation. That is what Shoaib Malik had to say. Isn't it a testament of everyone, even the legends of cricket, think the same way about Virat Kohli as the fans do? I think it's safe to say that even the legendary players are fans of Virat Kohli and the way that he plays the game. But talk us through how you look at Virat Kohli's innings today.
Well, I think Shoaib Malik also said he's a treat to watch. A treat to watch, absolute treat to watch.
Absolutely.
You can see him bat day in and day out. And I know I'm sounding like a bit of a fan, but I think when Shoaib Malik and I think we've got every former player who has said that Virat will be an important player, Virat will play well in every situation, and he has done that so far, so good.
I think he's a legend already. He's probably in the twilight of his career, but he's a legend already. And I have no doubt in my mind that people will talk about Virat for a long, long time. He does have people who dislike some of what he has done, but Virat is an absolute treat to watch. His cover drives, as Prisha pointed out, are a joy. He plays all round. He has got strokes. He doesn't need to play the reverse sweep. He doesn't have to play the reverse flick. No fancy shot for him, but he does play the shot that are in the textbook. And he plays them really, really well. And when he's there, the opposition fears India. And I think that is what is his greatest quality. As long as he's around, they know he's the chase master, as people call him. And they know that Virat will see the team through as long as he's around. And it's wonderful to watch him today. He's had a very good World Cup, as you pointed out. 300 runs already in the World Cup. 4 more league games to go, and hopefully the semi-final and final. So who knows what he's going to do.
Can I add something? And this is a little
I think
out
before
of the
you
context.
say that, I must say I'm very envious of our friend Shubhayan, who gets to watch such lovely cricket
From there.
from the venue, right? But no, on a more serious note, he's got a challenging job and fabulous effort in bringing us all the fan reactions, his own outpouring of emotion. We got to see that. It was brilliant.
Yeah, so on the emotional point of view a little, when I was going through a personal low last year, often I would sit and watch Virat and Mithali's batting because it gives you absolute peace and I can't tell you how much relief it gives you.
Absolutely. Virat Kohli's batting is a work of art and there is no denying that, and so is Mithali Raj's, by the way. But another batter who performed really well tonight and has been performing consistently, giving us consistent runs throughout the tournament has been Rohit Sharma, of course the Indian skipper. The way that he batted tonight, 46 runs off of 40 balls, gave you a solid start. It gives the middle order batters so much to work with.
Absolutely, I think he set the agenda for India. He set the momentum for India from the first innings that he has played in this World Cup. And the best part was even today he didn't give it up, And I remember one ball, I think Trent Bolt beat him, and then he came out and hit a 6. Was it Bolt? Or yeah. So he got beaten by Bolt, and the next ball he stepped out and hit him for a 6. That's called statement that it's okay. I mean, and it shows such a lot of character in the guy that it's okay. I was beaten. You bowled a very good ball, but the next ball I'm gonna show you what I'm made of.
Karki, there was so much talk about how India's bogey team is New Zealand. I think that's been put to rest very comfortably today.
Absolutely.
And no less credit to Rohit Sharma for that. 274 would have been a very tricky score to chase, even with the Virat Kohli in the reserve. But those 48 runs that he scored very briskly, 4 fours and 4 sixes, quite an outstanding effort from the captain. And I think he is possessed. He really wants to win the World Cup for India, as does Virat Kohli, as does each of the 9 others who's taking the field. I think it's wonderful to see this team. We are sitting in the studio and watching on television, tracking what is happening there. There is so much joy that this team is giving to its fans that it is unbelievable.
Absolutely. But also you have to give a little credit to Raja here. He had predicted 47, 48. He had predicted 275. I would actually say...
I have no Nostradamus.
No. I'm just suggesting go get a lottery ticket, please.
And if you're playing fantasy game, don't go by what I'm saying.
At least today he's getting it right. So today may be the right time to get lottery ticket. Raja.
Absolutely. But those are all the positives of the Indian team tonight. But when we talk about Virat Kohli, and this will be something that will be talked again after the game is over, and now it will be talked about. It happened in the last game as well, and this is about, is Virat Kohli batting selfishly or not? Because he did, sort of the run out with Ravindra Jadeja. That was absolutely.
Jadeja, no, it's.
Surya Kumar Yadav. The run out with Surya Kumar Yadav, and there was almost a run out with Ravindra Jadeja as well. Those 2 moments were completely uncalled for.
There's no doubt that Virat probably was wrong in first taking a few steps and then retracting because he saw Santner with the ball at covers. Now it was Surya Kumar Yadav's ball. There is a good chance that Virat might have gone to the other end, reached the other end safely. But I think it is typical human reaction. When you see danger, you kind of take a step back. And it was nice on Surya Kumar Yadav's part. This is something that people will not talk about much, but he sacrificed his wicket. He could have continued running, and Virat might have been the one run out, but Surya Kumar Yadav gave his wicket away. Credit to him, and then Virat, credit to him, he stayed back with Jadeja. I think it was a very important partnership. Jadeja got those 39 runs in the end, but the partnership with Virat, the 6-wicket stand, was very, very important because there was not much batting left after that.
I think for me, how can you call someone selfish who's dragging your team? I think it's a complete. First of all, he was ball watching. It's a very basic mistake. But as Raja pointed out, it's something which happens. You tend to. The other factor which I feel at times happens with Virat is because he has this. I don't know. He has bags of energy, and he completely forgets that the other partner might not be as fast as him. So he kind of runs the first run and he's halfway through the second run when maybe the other partner is just reaching. So you'll see there are confusions. With such a character there will be confusions, but no, I don't think it ever was about selfishness. It was always about the team, and each one of them are playing for the team. I mean, think of Rohit, he hasn't completed 50s in 2 matches. He could have gone, settled, because he had the entire time, right? He's opening the batting. But he has gone for the shots.
No, I think it's also important to make this one point. People will not talk about it, but the drinks break and the laser show, I'm not sure how much of an impact it had on KL Rahul. He fell to the first ball after the break. There was a laser show where the lights were dim, and I'm not sure whether his eyesight had adjusted to the darkness and then to the light, and he fell to the first ball after the break. And then immediately after that was this run out. So India was looking over the cliff. It was on the edge at that point of time. So both Virat Kohli and Jadeja at that point of time, very, very important innings, very critical partnership.
By that time, there were already 2 breaks that the Indian batters had to go through. One was the low clouds.
Yes.
Virat Kohli was there when that happened. That could have been, of course, your focus just turns off at those moments. Plus, the laser shows that have been happening throughout this World Cup during drinks break, which, as a cricketer, I don't know if they appreciate it or not, because it does, you have a vision around you, you have a zone, you know that you're seeing the pitch, you're seeing the ground, and it's set a certain way. But in a moment, if it's turned off, there are lasers all around. How does that impact you mentally, right? It has to have
Absolutely.
an absolutely, devastating impact on your focus.
And then you suddenly turn on the lights on.
Yes, exactly. And you're already, drinks break is such a, it is already a break in the rhythm of you as a player, because you're recalibrating, you're thinking about, okay, I need to go back and settle in once again. Any break, you have to, kind of go back and settle in. But at this point, with the lasers and everything, do you think it's fair that happens?
See, a break is always obviously kind of takes you a little away from the focus. How many lakhs of wickets have we? I mean, I might be exaggerating, but the truth is, how many wickets have we seen falling after the drinks break? And then already there was a vision issue. When the batters came back, I'm not saying it was that much, but there was form. And there was an issue. Then you switch off the lights, switch on the light. It happens all very quickly. So you might be out of the zone again, at the international level, maybe people might think that you are trying to cook up excuses, but they're not excuses. This actually happened. And you can lose your focus for a second. Batter just has one ball to lose that wicket.
Lights can be switched on and off, but the focus and concentration, that's a huge challenge. You can't switch on it.
Yes, absolutely. And that is where I think these breaks could be, affecting the batters. One of the reasons they could affect the batters.
I agree with you. And since we're talking about how KL Rahul lost his wicket right after the first ball was bowled, after that drinks break come laser show, but then when we talk about how the Indians lost their wickets, right? None of them seemed like it was a good ball or a good catch. It was always, it looked like the Indian batters gave away their wickets. Rohit Sharma edging it, and then Shreyas Iyer again falling for that short ball, trying to pull it and then upper edging the ball.
Shubman Gill as well.
Shubman Gill, yes. All of them.
I think there was one small pattern that I noticed, and I think I was speaking to both of you about it, that both Shubman Gill and Rohit actually had, so for example, Rohit scored a 46 or 40, out of which he has 4 fours and 4 sixes, which accounts for the 40 runs. So he actually scored 6 of the remaining 32 balls, which could be, when you're batting, you're actually playing a lot more dot balls. That basically means if you're relying too much on boundaries. While he bats in the power play, but still maybe finding gaps and rotating the strike a little more would help you, because if you all, it could be pressure that bogged you down and suddenly you see a ball wide, because that ball was quite a bit away from Rohit's reach. He hit the ball, it came back. So I think it has also got to do with the fact that Gill and Rohit kind of relied a lot more on boundaries, while boundary hitting is part of it. Once you have hit the boundaries, maybe a little more rotating the strike would have helped. But whatever it is, you can't give the wickets away. That's for sure.
I think the batters will realize that they probably were gift wrapping the match to New Zealand at one point of time with so many free wickets given. The New Zealanders bowled well, no doubt about that. But the Indian batters were probably not in the best mood. They were in a festive mood, so to say. And we are not being critical of the batters,
Absolutely.
but they could have been a bit more careful. But on a better note, Gargi, I think whoever chose the man of the match has done a great job of giving it.
Absolutely. The commentators.
The commentators.
Whoever it was, whichever commentator it was who chose, has done a great job of picking Mohammad Shami as the player.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up, I want to take another interesting stat, which is India's batting progression, India's inning progression. Because if we compare this to New Zealand's innings progress, we're seeing that in the middle overs, India lost the most wickets. India lost 5 wickets between the overs 11 and 40, whereas it was completely opposite for New Zealand. New Zealand lost it in the beginning and at the death overs. What does that say to you? Because if we're looking at India's innings progression, in the power play, we had scored 63 runs, which means the first 10 overs. After that, 11 to 40, we had 162 runs, but 5 wickets fall. That's a collapse. Then, in the death overs from overs 41 to 50, we scored 49 runs and lost 1 wicket.
That was absolutely towards the end when Virat got out.
Yeah.
But in the middle stage, I think because India started off so well, suddenly the batters decided to, I don't know, just go for it for no apparent reason. Also, I wanted to ask Raja here that we have always spoken about how Shreyas had problems with short ball. Now he has come back with a very, very strong reply to short balls, but it has also become a curse for him in a way.
You can't be thinking you can win with every short ball that coming your way, you're going to hit it for 4 or 6. You have to pick your short ball to hit really smartly. I think Shreyas is a bundle of talent, perhaps at the same level as Rohit Sharma, in terms of stroke play, in terms of ability to create strokes, but he needs the temperament. I think you can't have my way or highway. This is the way I play my cricket. This is probably what Shreyas has been encouraged to do, which is a good thing. If the team likes what he's done, good for it. But as critics, as fans, you expect a little bit more. You played yourself in and then don't give crap your wicket to a shot.
Absolutely. And I have one last point to discuss before we say goodbye to our viewers, is that the outfield. Players look pretty unhappy with the way that it was because Rohit Sharma's injury scare. And then we had some shots that were horribly deflecting. We had Mark Chapman in the second innings who took a horrible fall at the outfield. It might have been because of dew, but then it's still, when you looked at the ground, you could tell that it was very uneven. Having someone like a Jasprit Bumrah in your team, having someone like a KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer who are just returning from injuries, or anyone, you don't even have to name these players. Anyone, even if it's 100% fit player, these small, little things matter because one wrong step and you're gone.
But New Zealand was also still feeling in the same outfield
Yes,
field, and they were brilliant. That is
catches.
They didn't. They probably dropped one catch, but they were brilliant in the 30-yard circle. Outside, they have actually given away boundaries and all, but they dived around. They didn't scruffle the ground as much as the ground scruffling that we saw in the Afghanistan match. So I don't know how bad was the outfielder? It was just a general poor day on the field, maybe.
Not the best conditions.
Yeah.
I don't think these were ideal. But irrespective of that, both teams had similar conditions to contend with. But I think in the end, the team that played the better cricket overall, whether it was with the ball or with the bat has gone on. I think it is fantastic from an India perspective that 5-on-5 for India, and the bogey team has been beaten.
There is no bogey team. Now we don't have any bogey teams.
No, but we will still say in the last 20 years India has beaten New Zealand only twice in ICC World Cup, in ICC contest. God bless everybody who does that.
But Raja, you
But
have to build up games.
Tonight India was fabulous.
But you have to build up games, and that's where these things come in. 8-0 against Pakistan, 2-8 against New Zealand. I think we read too much in it.
Absolutely, and we'll end on a more positive note though, is that India won tonight. They played incredibly well, and it was against a team like New Zealand who is a quality attack, but India triumphed once again. And on that note, we'll say goodbye. Keep watching Red Sports, like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, and stay tuned.